At the time, all rush. Okay, and if there's any question which we can't answer, I want to say sorry next question. Okay, so I decided to. Okay, go ahead.
That's right. All right. Now, as you can see, we were. As you can see, we were just at the food center doing our walkabouts, and all we're doing right now is intensifying our ground campaign. We've been doing this in the the lead up to elections since, as far as I can recall, already last year that we've been pushing things already on the ground. Now, what we have are very interested, very concerned about is, as you can see at hawker centers, there are a lot of the older generation of Singaporeans, right? And we feel that it's very important for us to reach out to the younger generation as well. And for that, sometimes it's easier for us to do it online through social media. And this is where I think it's going to be an important background, and that's winning the hearts and minds of the younger generation of voters, right? Now, if that's going to be the case, then we've got a very able and competent team of young Democrats, of younger members, volunteers, very passionate about what they do. And they're all standing around me right now. And we're making sure that we're going to push ahead with some of our strategic plans. And rather than going on and on, I'll just invite a couple of them to talk about what they hope to do and what they're going forward in the lead up to the G2. What they intend to push the message for to younger generation of voters. I just want to call upon Lin Chong. Miss Chong is here and joined us quite a few years ago. Pass it over to take over the
So I joined the SPP because passion policies for investigated me. So initially it was as a volunteer, and now I've stepped up like agent. So I think some of the issues that youth really particularly concerned about job opportunities, cost of living, particularly especially with regard to housing, affordability, poverty, as well as some of the global issues such as climate change. So we hope that we will be able to address those issues and work together, with people to come up with solutions that can address those concerns.
I was also called ask Badly to say a few words about what some of the specific programs that we're going to be pushing.
So can you come front bit? Just
Tarik balik. Nama saya Fadli dan saya adalah ahli Parti Demokrat Muda. Dan di Parti SPP kami telah akan membuat berbagai cara untuk mencapai kepada seorang muda. Nampak kita ada buat TV show, talk show. We call it Reflect and Discuss Problems. So it's a talk show, it's an episode format dalam each episode kita akan berbual different stories. Second is we will be doing second is we will be doing training videos on STP. The training videos is about STP, about every voters and people in the market and people know what they are. So third thing will be doing we'll be having a election rally any time. So the date is not known, so the young Democrats will be involved in it.
How will the young Democrats be involved?
The young Democrats will be highly involved because they will be planning, organizing legal institutions of
Actually, can you share more about the pre-election rally?
Yeah, if you recall, 2010, we had a pre-election rally at Parliament, and this is where we use the opportunity to, if you will, use the word blood some of the potential candidates and give them a bit of exposure in terms of the public speaking and exposure to public speaking. This year we're going to be doing that as well, and we will announce dates sometime, if not September, then around October. And as what Fatih has said, the Young Democrats are going to be very intimately involved in planning stages, in the strategizing, in terms of message, and then the entire PR machinery must then go out. So all this is in preparation for the next GE as we step up our efforts, and we expect an elections anytime between late this year to early next year. I don't believe that the PM is going to wait any longer than middle of next year to dissolve Parliament and issue the bid for the next election. So, and it's not a lot of time for us. We've been gearing up. We've launched our campaign earlier this year in February already, and we're just basically making sure that things begin to fall in place, and we have a well-oiled machinery to take things forward.
Dr. Chin, the SDP seems to be moving quite fast anyway. I mean, the fact that today you're announcing that these are the constituencies that you're looking at. I mean, although you've been walking the ground, and you've talked about how the younger population is something that you're looking at. Can you share more about that? Is this something that conscious that the SDP is doing, and why say it so much earlier?
Yeah, I think that for one thing, you've got to realize that in our situation, it takes time for the message to permeate as people to begin to know some of these issues that they have to deal with in the coming years, right? The younger generation is something that, from what we've talked about, is something that they are continuing to be very anxious about as well. You have reports like 6 in 10 Singaporeans finding it difficult to get jobs. And we're not just talking about jobs, we're talking about meaningful jobs, jobs that have some kind of career development, right? And this is what younger Singaporeans are very concerned about. And this is what the message we want to push. And we are able to do that simply because, as I said, we've got a very able cadre of young members, youth who have come up, and this is where I think is going to make the big difference. They're going to be the dynamo, they're going to be energetic, and they're going to really be really passionate about what they do. Look, we don't, I keep repeating this point, we don't pay them anything. There are no perks, they spend their own money Sundays, Mondays to Fridays, going on house visits, walking with us. And it's all driven by the sheer passion of wanting to bring some of these issues up and get the SDP into Parliament so we can begin to address some of these problems that our country faces. And they're going to inherit this society. They should be the ones that need to take the lead and push for some of these issues that they're very concerned about.
When you say that you want them to take the lead, when we're looking at the next elections, are we likely going to see more younger faces being fielded, or is that something that you are?
We are considering, and things are still very fluid right now, and how the situation is. We don't know when the boundaries are going to be announced, and so on and so forth. But we are seriously considering fielding young faces, and that I think is going to be hugely important.
Can I get other questions, not all from Sabah?
Can you share with us what are some of the events or concerns that the younger people in the group today had?
You've seen that the general lay is also the older generation of Singaporeans that would come out on Sunday mornings and have their breakfast over here. And their huge concern is always about their health care. And it's not so much that they know they're not going to fall sick. The problem is that when they fall sick, what happens? And it's something that we're all very concerned about, because much as they talk about Medisave and so on, Medishield Life, the deductibles are still something which probably for us we're not that concerned about, right? But for them,
having to go through it, the daily lives. Those are huge issues. And just not only in this morning's walkabout, we're talking about house visits when you go when we're just in this more intimate environment, and they'll start relating. This is where we put our ears to the ground. This is where we formulate our issues and our strategy in terms of fight.
Shinmin, CNA, yeah, go ahead.
What other strategies are you looking at? So how are you going to intensify everything that you say it's going to be probably before the next year?
Well, the one thing that it is going to be very much in forefront of our campaign would also be the online strategy. What we've been doing all along, if you've been following our Facebook, our YouTube, that's all going to expand and only get bigger. And one of the projects that Fadli mentioned a little while ago was to get the young Democrats to come out and talk about themselves, what their concerns are. Why did they come into the SDP to voice these concerns, right? And so these are the things that we're going to be pushing. And as I said, that the message must go out as wide as we can. Look, the constituencies that we talked about, they're nothing new. We contested that in the last election. Potentially, right? I say this and emphasize on the word potentially. We're going to look to expanding the number of seats that we're going to contest. But that is wholly dependent on the redrawing of boundaries and how we begin to discuss and work things out with the other opposition.
Does that mean that if there's a redrawing of boundaries, also that once it will change like that?
Yes, I mean, say suppose we're talking about Jurong GRC. Right now it's a 5-person or 6-person GRC. Let's say supposing if it gets carved up into 2 GRCs. Then that potentially opens up, frees up, and working with the other parties, we'll figure out a way on how we can begin to contest.
Talk about working with other parties. With Dr. Khan's box launch of PSP, I think that we talked about whether a formal alliance or even an informal one is possible. With SDP looking at these 5 constituencies, does that mean that you are ruling that out or?
No. That's a short answer. And this is the situation that we are facing. As long as the opposition remains disparate, right, remains as remotely biased, we're not going to win the confidence of the vote. We have said this repeatedly, and we did this in last year, October, when we had got all the opposition parties together. We have got them. And SDP stands ready to work with all the opposition parties. And we repeat our call in that we have differences, obviously, amongst the various different parties. But those differences are minuscule when you compare it to the common stand, the common goal that we must have in providing Singaporeans, the voters, with an alternative that they can have confidence in, right? And so, we continue to work towards this goal of, and we repeat our call right now to have all the opposition parties come together and make sure that we have a common platform that we can offer Singaporeans and let them say, yes, we are confident in this alternative, something that we can hold with. So we will definitely be working with Dr. Khan's party, hopefully WP and other parties as well, in bringing everybody together so that we can present a more comprehensive message to what
Okay, hang on. So we got 10 more minutes before we go to end it. Our other CC leaders are here, Paul, Daman, and Brian. It would be good if you could also ask questions to them as well. I'm going to hold Cao Bao back to the last question because I was asked a lot of questions, right? So you haven't had a chance to play.
So Dr. Are you still looking for Dr. Khan as one of the leaders of the party? Is he the main leader or are you looking at him as working with him on the side?
What we said last year hasn't changed. We continue to ask him to make sure that
there's discussions are facilitated, that we make sure that we iron out all the differences. Going into the GE, come up looking coordinated, looking at the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. So we're going to continue to work on this process, and I'm just hopeful things will continue to improve.
Questions for our Chairman Paul or any others?
In terms of the numbers of the young candidates who will be candidates, how many percent more could you tell us would be from us?
That's going to be. We're considering all our potential candidates right now, and we don't have a fixed percentage where we've got. That doesn't make sense.
Hang on. Other questions?
It's about timeout ready. Come on, let's go to the timeout box.
Come on.
Sorry, what are the challenges? Sorry, what are the
ahead.
challenges for the, as in terms of reaching out to the younger generation, and what will your message to be to
Paul,
them?
you want to take that?
Well, we have a very dynamic team of young people who are involved in our communications platforms, and they have just gone on social media. You may have seen some of their little things like the Slack and discuss problems, or in fact asking me anything. So these things have gone kind of minor viral, and we're hoping to use these platforms to reach out to more young people, because they're the ones who are affected by the unaffordability of HDB flats, the difficulty in getting jobs, and some of the real issues which are facing Singaporeans. These are particularly acute for young people today in Singapore.
So given that social media is sort of a double-edged sword, and given what has happened recently, as in, how would the party have reacted to the pretty please?
Well, I think,
Lisa, before you answer, can you come front a bit?
yeah, I mean, the party has always been very clear about this, that, we believe in freedom of expression. We think that Singaporeans are mature enough to police ourselves, and I think that is actually what happened over a period of time. What we do also believe is that you cannot brush issues like discrimination under the carpet. We have always stood for a more just and equal Singapore. As you know, SDP is one of the, is probably the only party which has a Malay policy, which has argued that a lot of discriminatory policies need to be done away with. And I think this has been our stand for many, many years. Dr. Chi got in trouble for speaking in Hong Lim Park almost 20 years ago. So it's not something new. This is something that's been around for a very long time, and I think SDP has been consistent about this for many, many years.
We got 5 more minutes. We're going to do one Malay for MediaCorp Malay News with Daman, and Tapao and MediaCorp gets to do Chinese with Ryan, okay? So, any of you can ask a question in English, but then he'll answer in Malay.
Okay, sorry, would you say this huge focus on the Young Democrats is a new strategic move? But can you answer it in English? Or is it something that...
Yeah, so that we understand.
Yeah, correct. So sorry.
Yeah, I think it is as you can see just now, that we really have a good bunch of very young people who have come forward, and this will continue. In fact, of late, we have a lot of young people who have emailed to us, volunteering themselves. So we feel that this is not only a strategic move, but an indication of change that is happening on the ground. The young are actually coming forward. They are no longer afraid, and they want to be heard. And they're just sick and tired of the kind of PAP say they want to clear the ground, right? These young people come forward, they speak, but nothing is taken from what they. So they have decided to shift. Now they are coming more to us, to the other opposition party, and I think that is very, very good for Singapore, because these guys are going to be the one up front in the future. So I think it's good overall for all of us. Okay, bahasa for Berita Harian and for MediaCorp Malay. Never what you said. Exactly the same. Sama-sama lah.
Tuan-tuan, ke depan sikit. Depan sikit tuan Depan lagi.
Apa yang kita lihat sekarang ialah lebih banyak muda-mudi yang ke depan untuk bersama-sama dengan kita dalam parti pembangkang, parti SDP dan parti-parti yang lain, dan ini menunjukkan bahawa anak-anak muda ini mereka rasa seolah-olah PAP tidak mendengar apa yang mereka beritahu dalam sesi feedback dan sebagainya. Jadi ini merupakan sesuatu yang sangat baik untuk kita sebagai masyarakat Singapura ke depan, kerana mereka lah akan menjadi pemimpin-pemimpin yang akan datang. Jadi itu sesuatu yang kami sangat sanjungi lah apa yang kita lihat. Terima kasih.
OK， 早报新闻还有华语新闻，来 Brian， 要问，快来。
所以刚才我是想就是继续刚才我发问的那个题目，所以就是之前的话，你们有这样就是focus on 那个 Young Democrats 吗？还是今年这次就是来届大选你们会比较 focus？
没有，这青年团在1999年就已经创立了，有史以来我们就有很多团员加入，对，特别是最近这几年，有很多就是那些志愿者都申报要加入我们党的活动，这样子你也看到了，这今天有好多年轻的面孔，对，所以这不是说夜间所创造出来的，对，我们一路来都一直很注重就是要让这有一个接台给那年轻人发声。
I don't want to date Brian, but 1999 he was one of the first young Democrats.
Democrats. 就是已经是团长，青年团团长。对。
几岁呢？你
那时我加党的时候是让我算啊，这样你会算到我年纪了。23岁，我加党的时候23岁，对。
所以99年到现在，在 Young Democrats 意识有增加吗？或者就是为了要接触更多的年轻人，没有这样就是吸引更多年轻的。
其实，如果你关注我们的社交媒体的话，我们就是在社交方面，我觉得我应该讲说我们党吧，说不是厚脸皮啊，说我们党在社交媒体方面，就我们宣传做得很足够，所以也渐渐的，因为你知道吧，这些年轻人就比较喜欢上社交媒体，对，他们就渐渐就对我们的党的那个这些政策啊，我们的发表啊。他们都就有感兴趣，他们主动就来参与我们的活动，甚至成为党员。
Okay, we're going to take one last question to anyone. Chandati, whoever asked the last question first.
What have you learned from the last GE, and what is going to change for your strategy going forward? Because I mean, right now we can see the same kind of strategy for you. Is it that you are pushing forward your policy launches? What is it? What are you doing?
No, I think if anything, it's been the even progress of technology that we're going to capitalize on. And in terms of what we did in the last GE, we continue to hone what we experienced and bring it to bear on in terms of our campaigning, our messaging. The one thing that we know from the last GE, the one big difference is the deterioration of the situation right now in Singapore. Right? With PM Lee doing what he's doing over the last few years, I think Singaporeans have lost a lot of confidence in his leadership. And that's why people are feeling a lot more anxious. They are a lot more concerned about what's going to happen over the next few years. Oh, very much so, and I think, you know, by and large, we took a quick survey across Singapore. That is the feeling that is the feedback that we've gotten, and I think it's a very big problem. And the thing is that there's so much groupthink that you ask the question, what does Mr. Heng as the incoming Prime Minister any different from the current Prime Minister? And there's nothing to give you that sense of confidence that he knows that things need to change. So everybody is just doing what everybody else is talking about, what everybody else is saying, and then we're just having more of the same. And that, for the sake of Singapore's future, cannot continue.
Okay, we're going to call this to an end. So for the rest of today, if you want to ask and speak to about people, only 6 people are allowed to talk to you. 4 leaders, Min and Patrick. Okay? So we're going to thank you for this doorstop. Feel free to follow us if you want to, but your official doorstop